Good afternoon, everyone, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you in Brussels today at the first ever symposium on cultivated meat, precision fermentation, plant-based diets in Europe. And I would like to particularly thank Michel and Anne for pioneering so strongly and persistently on this. We have been wanting to organize this day for 2 years now, but we really wanted to wait till we could do it in person, because it's so important to do this in person and to show you how we want to see the future. So here we are today. It's still a bit weird, no? That sometimes you have to pinch yourself. Am I now in a virtual or in a real reality? But it's real. We are here together, and it's still a bit looking for to hug or not to hug, but I'm sure we will all get used to that again. We are particularly excited about the day ahead, because the topics we will be discussing with experts and advocating in the fascinating fields we believe are shaping the future of our food system. Indeed, as Victor Hugo famously quoted, "Nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come." And by the end of today, I'm convinced that we will be able to clearly visualize a future, a new future, a kinder one for animals and the planet. One that we couldn't have dreamed of 15 years ago, but that could become reality already by 2030 or even before. And it was already alluded to, it is not by chance that we have chosen this location for our event today. Because throughout history, humans have evolved from hunter-gatherers to farmers. And farming was pivotal for the development of human civilization as we know it. But as we witness it on a daily basis, it has become a major source of environmental degradation and animal suffering. Some even describe the Anthropocene as the epoch of chicken bones, as broiler chickens, as many of you will be aware of, are the most numerous on Earth at the moment. And their mummified bones will far outlive any signs of human civilization. Not only is this fact absurdly sad, but to me it also epitomizes the urgency of the situation. Without another revolution of our food system, and some call it the second domestication, our planetary resources will simply become insufficient to further support human existence. So it has therefore been an honor for us to invite our eminent speakers of today to present their vision on how cultivated meat and precision fermentation can play a role in shaping that future food system, in transitioning towards a humane and sustainable food system. This is no longer a nice to have. I'm not sure if you read it, but the 4th IPCC report, published only last month, sounded to all practical effects like a last call to action. If we really want to change the planet and our relationship with animals, we have to do it now. We do not have time anymore. We are gambling with the future of the next generations. And we are inflicting immense animal suffering to sentient beings. As a matter of fact, we are witnessing the creation of even more industrial livestock sectors, notably for insects, for example, but also on fish, most recently on octopus. It almost seems as that the only way we're able to think about producing food is by blindly continuing to enslave animals without properly considering the moral implications. Whereas by now it should be abundantly clear that the way in which we produce food, especially animal products, must radically change. And even if we wanted to set aside the ethical aspects, this has become quite literally a matter of survival. Our own survival as a species on this planet. We already drove thousands of species to extinction, as the specimens in this very museum sadly remind us of. Yet for many, change is dangerous and it must be opposed at all costs. The Russian invasion of Ukraine, among its many tragic aspects, has emboldened the efforts of the industrial livestock sector to sidetrack on the ambitions of the EU Green Deal in terms of sustainability. And many of you will know this is the big European project on transforming towards a different food system. And many European farming organizations are now calling on the European Commission to backtrack on the environmental targets of the Common Agriculture Policy, but also the Farm to Fork and the biodiversity strategies, and to refocus on food security. And in practice, this means cultivating lands that are currently set aside for biodiversity protection and the continued use of dangerous pesticides. And let us be clear about this. These big lobbying efforts are meant to increase the production of animal feed. Delaying the greening ambitions of the Green Deal are not meant to produce crops for direct human consumption. No, they are meant to continue feeding those crops to intensively farmed animals. Because this is what business as usual looks like for the intensive farming industry. And of course, it should not surprise us, because the economic interests at stake are enormous. And the budding sectors of cultivated meat and precision fermentation will certainly disrupt the status quo. However, as I see it, there are big, big opportunities to be had. Quite frankly, these opportunities are mind-blowing. And when I think about what we can achieve and how this can radically change our relationship with the planet and with animals, I cannot feel but elated. And I'm sure that many of you share this passion with me, even more so after having delved into the details with our speakers later today. So I wish you a very fruitful, a very thought-provoking, and a very inspiring conference today. Thank you so much. Michelle, floor is yours.